Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Scarlett. We're seeing highs in the 70s today, but an alert day for tomorrow with heavy rain moving into the Midlands. Meteorologist Kevin Arnone has your first alert forecast. How are things looking outside for our Friday, Kevin?
Yeah, a couple showers out there right now that we are going to be dealing with over the next couple of hours.
Kevin, thank you. There are no public impeachment hearings today, but this week House investigators have heard from 12 public witnesses and 5 more in closed-door testimony. CNN's Suzanne Malveaux explains what's next in the impeachment inquiry.
House Democrats moving one step closer to impeaching President Trump.
President Trump has told his House allies to keep fighting tough. He's looking ahead to a possible impeachment trial before the Senate by reportedly meeting with GOP senators, including critic Mitt Romney. All new at noon, an arrest has been made in the death of an inmate that was ruled a homicide. The SC Department of Corrections says that warrants have been issued to arrest Jeffrey Henderson for murder. He's accused of strangling his former cellmate, Michael Edwards, to death. Edwards was found dead in the cell they shared at Ridgeland Correctional Institution in October. Edwards was serving a 10-year sentence for armed robbery. Henderson was serving a 15-year sentence for burglary and now faces additional time for murder. He's being held at a different facility at this time. Also new at noon, police in Sumter are looking for information about an armed robbery on Broad Street yesterday morning. Police say an armed man entered the Circle K just after 2 a.m. demanding money. The robber reportedly hit the clerk and left the store with cash. Police believe he may have left the area in a dark-colored vehicle. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. New details: a former Richland County school resource officer accused of sexually assaulting a student is out on bond this afternoon. Jamel Bradley was released on a $10,000 bond granted to him by a Richland County judge yesterday. Now, as part of his bond conditions, he also has to wear an ankle monitor. Bradley is facing a criminal sexual conduct charge. Deputies say he sexually assaulted a 17-year-old student while working as a school resource officer at Spring Valley High School last year. They say it happened off school grounds in Bradley's patrol car while he was in uniform. We talked to a former Spring Valley High School student who knew Bradley and says these allegations are shocking.
Shocked when I seen it on Facebook and everybody was sharing. I was like, this can't be the same officer I went to school with, the same person I used to, leave my class and go chill in his office or walk around with him around the school, and then to turn around and hear about this is just crazy. But looks can be deceiving.
Was removed from Spring Valley High School in December of last year after a lawsuit was filed against him, the Richland 2 School District, and the Richland County Sheriff's Department. That lawsuit details separate sexual assault allegations involving Bradley and a different student. To continuing coverage now, we're expecting the autopsy results today of a West Columbia man who was found dead yesterday. Columbia police say 57-year-old John Huggins, went missing last Friday after leaving work. His body was found yesterday in Fairfield County. As of right now, police say foul play is not suspected. And this afternoon, we're learning more about a reported rape inside a library on a South Carolina college campus. Police say that assault happened in October in a third-floor bathroom at the Cooper Library on Clemson's campus. The incident report says the victim was studying with another person when she went to the bathroom. According to the report, a man was inside and assaulted her. The victim was able to get away. Initially, she wanted to remain anonymous, but still pursue charges. But after about a month and a half of investigating, police say the leads have gone cold and the victim no longer wants to move forward.
And what we hope that as she continues to go through this process, as any survivor would, that she may agree to come back in and work with us additionally. But at this point, that's why the case has been administratively closed, because we've finished all the leads that we have, but we certainly have support for her.
Police have added extra patrols in and around that library. They encourage anyone with new information in connection with this case to reach out. You can find that number and a description of the alleged attacker in this story on WIS-TV.com. And it's time to pick up that phone and call our Families Helping Families phone bank. That number is 803-758-1020. Here's a live look of our volunteers, and we'll check in with one in just a few minutes.
All right, satellite radar view right now shows a couple showers out there, but we have more steady rain on the way for tomorrow. Alert day has been posted. We're going to break it all down, time it all out with the Futurecast.
Happening right now, phone lines are open for the Families Helping Families Phone Bank. This is a live look at the volunteers hard at work as we speak, and we are joined by one of those volunteers right now, Mr. Stuart Stout. Thank you so much for being here. You said that you've done this for about 15 years now.
Yes.
Well, talk about why it is that you volunteer with Families Helping Families.
It's just a great cause. You know where everything is going that you do. You see the applications, you see the gifts dropped off, you see the gifts picked up, and you get to really realize while there might be 3,700 families going there, they don't all look the same, but some of them are, the majority of them are just needy. They just need things sometimes that we don't even think about.
Absolutely, and I'm sure seeing their reaction when they do see all those gifts and donations that have been brought in is priceless, I'm sure.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
What's so great about the volunteers we've been speaking with all week, not only do many of you volunteer year after year, but you yourself have adopted a family before. Can you talk about that process?
Well, it's very easy. It is much simpler than people might think, particularly if you're married and you have someone who will shop for you and wrap the gifts and bring them in. But there's so many, they're all kind of asked out there, but it's very simple. All the gifts.
To point out, they give you a detailed list of what these families are looking for, and at times they're very small, simple items. We want to give you the number one more time, 803-758-1020. Be sure to give our phone bank a call. They'll be open until 7:30 tonight. Stuart, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And happening today, Mayor Steve Benjamin unveiled Columbia's annual Christmas Ornament just about an hour ago at City Hall. This year's ornament features the Township Auditorium, which has been in Columbia for the last 80 years, hosting concerts, recitals, and graduations. You'll be able to buy the ornament at various local businesses. The proceeds will go to the Babcock Center, a nonprofit that gives lifelong support to people with intellectual and physical disabilities. Looking ahead to this weekend, a Newberry woman is hosting a right-away scholarship day in memory of her grandson who was shot and killed during an armed robbery at his workplace. Parker Killian Moore was born in Greenville and briefly lived in Prosperity. In January of 2018, he was living in Georgia and working as a restaurant manager. One night he was called into work unexpectedly after a coworker called in sick, but Parker never made it back home. Police say he was shot and killed by an armed robber. Parker was just 23 years old. Shortly after his death, his family established the Parker Killian Gives More Charity and Scholarship Fund.
It's really difficult, but this kind of keeps us going and helps us get up in the morning and put one foot in front of the other to know that we are helping someone else. And anytime I say Parker's name, it makes me feel better. It won't bring him back, but we can at least remember him and tell people about him.
Already, that scholarship fund has raised more than $25,000 in less than 2 years. Tomorrow, the foundation will host a right-away scholarship day in Newberry with free events planned throughout your Saturday. Those details are in this story in your WIS News app. And checking back in now with meteorologist Kevin Arnone. It was kind of gray outside not too long ago.
Yeah, we're going to be dealing with this kind of weather over the next couple of days. Sunday afternoon, much better, but we have an alert day posted for tomorrow. Some heavy rain on the way throughout the day. Of course, we're going to break it all down with the Futurecast.
Of course, the holidays are a time for being merry, and for many of us, that means enjoying a drink or two, but a non-alcoholic drink could make the holidays a little bit safer. With us now, Christian Nemi, executive chef at Bourbon, who's here to teach us how to make some great mocktails, and Stephen Bird of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And this is all, of course, ahead of your event coming up this Sunday. Tell us about it.
Sure. It's our second annual Mad Mocktail Mix-Off. So we're bringing together some great restaurants like Bourbon and other places people have heard of, and some bartenders, and then some of our nonprofit partners in a friendly competition for the best tasting non-alcoholic alcoholic mocktail they can mix up. Everyone who comes gets to sample some, vote on their favorites. We'll crown an overall winner. There's also kids games, a silent auction, a great band, the Interstate Exiles. It's really to celebrate designated drivers who are more important during the holidays than even any other time of year.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump right into it, Christian. What did you bring here this afternoon?
Well, I think the key to making a mocktail really is introducing some interesting ingredients that you aren't going to find in a normal fruit juice or soda or something like that.
Make it fun.
Yeah, you got to make it fun, and you have to kind of add that kind of mixology sort of bent to it. So what I've decided to do here today was make a mocktail version of the famous Trader Vic's Mai Tai.
Okay.
So we do the Mai Tai during Tiki Week at Bourbon every year, and it's one of the classic tiki cocktails. So it lends itself to a lot of fruit flavors, but a lot of complexity. And you know, when you think about the fact that it's a rum-based drink, and you think about what rum is made out of, and you think, okay, well, it's made from molasses, you can just cut all the alcohol out of that.
And still achieve that same
and same flavor profile just using molasses. So what I've done is I've taken some brewed black tea, I've added some molasses to it, and that's going to act as our rum for the drink. I've got some lime juice in there. We're going to add that. Now the key to this is really the flavor profile of a Mai Tai comes from orgeat, which is a almond syrup. And so we're going to add that. That adds kind of a very exotic flavor.
Already looking delicious.
Yeah, and it adds, well, that adds your sweetness, and that's the other thing that you have to stay away from in these, is that you don't want them to all be overly sweet. So that's really the only sugar that we're going to add. And now I've got orange bitters. Now, the beautiful thing about bitters, especially the ones from Fee Brothers, is that the majority of them are made without any alcohol. Now, Angostura bitters and some other bitters are made with an alcohol base.
You got to be sure to find the alcohol.
Yeah, so when you look on the back, it says made with water, glycerin, oil of bitter orange. So there's no alcohol in it, but this adds the orange aspect to it that you would normally get from dry curacao. Now, they do make non-alcoholic triple sec also, which are really good. And then,
is that it? Was that our last step?
Yeah, that's really it. It's a really simple ingredient, a really simple cocktail to make. And then the key to it afterwards is just after you've mixed that up, is make sure that it looks, that it looks appealing. So we've got the normal preparation and finishing of a Mai Tai is crushed ice on top, fresh mint. I'm going to give it a smack to get the oils released a little bit.
Love it.
And a fresh lime. And you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference between this one and
I was thinking the same
an alcohol
thing.
one.
A fun drink is a fun drink,
Right.
with or without the alcohol. In this case, without. Thank you both so much for your time this afternoon. We want to give you the details for that event coming up Sunday. If you don't have any plans, you want to, there it is. It's from 3 until 5 at the Columbia Fire Department headquarters. Again, coming up this Sunday.
80% chance of rain tomorrow. Alert day has been posted.
Turkey Day just creeping closer and closer. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.